Now read sentence 8. Part B. Repeat. Please repeat each sentence that you hear. For example, a voice says,
Leave town on the next train.
and you say,
Leave town on the next train.
I really want to change that.
Did you see the size of that dog?
How much time do we have before the film starts?
We are supposed to meet at 6 o'clock.
Please remove me from your mailing list. For more information, call the number below. How soon can I get an appointment with the doctor?
The pay was too low for me to work there anymore.
The teacher will treat the information with confidence.
During the weekend, I'm going to put all the files in order. I've been with the company for 4.5 years now.
One play was a tragedy, the other a comedy. You should review all the lessons in this book before taking the test.
The women across the street couldn't tell what the argument was about. Fewer students took his history course this term. Unfortunately, John wasn't very interested in learning to dance like Elvis.
Part C. Questions. Now, please just give a simple answer to the questions. For example, a voice says,
Would you get water from a bottle or a newspaper?
and you say,
A bottle.
or,
From a bottle.
Are teachers involved in hunting or educating? At the beach, would you be more likely to find a shell or an oven? Would you sit or stand to eat at the table?
Is a train early or late if it's running ahead of schedule?
Do you usually find pockets in a jacket or in shoes? Would a dog seek shade under a tree or in an open field?
What is a motion picture more commonly called?
Do you brush your hair or your socks?
Is a tornado a type of storm or a type of book?
The news is encouraging. Is it hopeful or negative?
Which has more legs, a snake or a bird? Danny was shocked when he received his electricity bill. Was he pleased or surprised?
Would you use a match to burn paper or to cut it?
Karen has a painful tooth. Should she see an artist or a dentist?
Isabella just turned 102. Is she young or old?
To water the garden, would you use a hose or a rake?
Marty's peeling a vegetable that makes her eyes water. What is she peeling?
How many hours are there in half a day? Would a child be more likely to find a slide at a playground or a library?
Which is easier to tie in a knot, rope or meat?
What tool is usually used for cutting fabric?
When you light a match, what do you create?
The Giants were beaten by the Tigers 4-3. Who won?
Is a documentary a kind of film or a kind of dough?
Part B. Sentence builds. Now please rearrange the word groups into a sentence. For example, a voice says,
Was reading. My mother. Her favorite magazine.
and you say,
My mother was reading her favorite magazine.
"4 hours there. We spent necessary is no reservation. Have received books. All children. Did ring my phone. Will you, next month, attend the conference?
with, check, your doctor. Is a romantic comedy about two friends. The movie tonight. The unusual song was clearly fascinating them, that they were hearing. And use few ingredients, are easy to make. Most of the recipes.
Stack of folders in. The supply cupboard. There is another.
Part E. Story Retellings. You will hear 3 brief stories. Each story will be spoken once, followed by a beep. When you hear the beep, you will have 30 seconds to retell the story in English. Try to retell as much of the story as you can, including the situation, characters, actions, and ending. You will hear another beep at the end.
When Daniel woke up, he found a note from his mother. Since it was Saturday, his mother wanted him to work around the house. First, she wanted him to clean his room and then water the plants. She also wanted him to return all his library books. Daniel thought he would rather be at school.
Joe wanted to bake a cake. He mixed the ingredients together and poured the mix into the baking pan. However, when he opened the oven, he realized that the oven was not working. So he had to take the mix to his neighbor's house in order to bake it. Later, he shared the cake with his neighbor as a thank you.
No one hates the dentist more than Eric. After years of bad experiences, he finally found a friendly and gentle dentist who made him feel relaxed. He went to the new dentist to have a tooth pulled out. When Eric got back home, he realized that the dentist had pulled the wrong tooth. Eric will never trust dentists again.
Part F. Open questions. You will hear 2 questions about family life or personal choices. Each question will be spoken twice, followed by a beep. When you hear the beep, you will have 40 seconds to answer the question. You will hear another beep at the end of the 40 seconds.
Should parents choose the course of study for their children, or should children choose their own course of study? Please explain your thinking. Should parents choose the course of study for their children, or should children choose their own course of study? Please explain your thinking. Do you think raising a child is easier or more difficult today than it was 30 years ago? Please explain. Do you think raising a child is easier or more difficult today than it was 30 years ago? Please explain.
This is the end of the test. If you wish, you may continue and answer the following questions